hear us probably with the wind, but the microphone's at the office. I'm not at work today, so you just have to put up with it. So, have you been watching, I suppose, my Twitter feed and the Academy Effects Twitter feed and stuff like that? You'll see that I've been sort of doing a bit of R&D at Academy Effects. It's not the facial motion capture stuff, alright? Something else. But I'll mention when it all comes about. But I've had a few R&D projects on the go at the moment, including one I start on Monday. It's just basic things that to make my job easier and to make the job of getting these models and animations or whatever for clients faster, more effective, as best quality I can. Because production is not showing off, so it's not like a forum, right, where you've got to do everything the hard way sometimes to prove to people, you know, how good you are to get a name. It's basically you do it the easiest, quickest, fastest way with the most cheats, and that's what it's about. I've always been of the mind that if it's allowed in production, then as far as I'm concerned, it's allowed. But usually, see, I've always done things the hard way, just basically because of me. It's the sort of person I am, you know. So, but obviously now, you've got to look at things often, you know, the quickest way. So, as a direct result, it means that having to change the way I do things, make it easier. But yeah. Now I'm at the GradX at Staffordshire University next week. Is it next? It's the 17th anyway. Judging the year end 3D stuff with a few other people. And I think that we'll see some awesome stuff as usual. But it's always enjoyable for me because my mother always had a saying when it came to anything artistic, and that was, you've got to put something in to get something out. So to me, if I do not find something to look at, something new inspiration wise, it could be anything, it doesn't matter the level of the person, it could be a shape, a form, a silhouette, negative space, anything to grab onto, then it gives me something to just start the process. Because at the moment I go through these dead patches, especially when I've done a lot, like months and months of stuff, like I just have not long back, you know, with Screen Scene and Last Days on Mars, which was sort of hectic, high pressure stuff and all that. But it's sometimes nice to take a bit of a back seat. And it also means that I don't get as much time for R&D. So now I'm doing some. I've got two people on designing logos. So we've got Eric and Glenn Sylvan's on the go as well. And we'll see who comes up with the best one. We'll probably put it to a public vote because it's fairer, and that way I don't fall out with either one of them, you know. But I've also got to make sure that I get all the services that I want to provide nailed down and bomb-proof from workflow point of view. Now, there's a reason why, you know, like I said on Facebook yesterday, and someone's like, oh, well, you know, what are your... See, I don't want to... I could say it, but I'm not going to, because I'm not about to warn anybody who's a possible competitor. It's business, right? Basically, get over it. I'm sorry, but I can't always say it. And there's loads of... Here's what's down here. You can see them. Not sure what the fuck's going on there. But yeah. So that's basically a lot of what I've been doing. Now I do have at the end user event, I've just handed over to you what I shall be doing and covering this year. There's actually rather a lot of fucking stuff. I was going to, like, initially, it's still possible for me to do like the same lecture twice, but only if I time it out and it all fits. Now we're covering all sorts of, a lot of digital doubles. I've done a lot of digital doubles over the last couple of years. Usually when something's a pain in the arse and nobody else can or will do it, eventually they come to me, because I have no way of doing it. And I've found very simple ways of making perfect digital doubles. There's a number of ways, and I'm going to cover a lot of those from a workflow point of view. Then on top of all that, I'm going to cover the facial mocap system that I've came up with using the Kinect and 5D. The software itself won't be available, but what it is, it's so that anybody else can make a similar system. There's some things obviously I'm not going to mention, a couple of little tricks and things, but the idea is so that we can keep our work at the highest quality, but without having to spend a lot of money or a lot of time on things. Because to be honest, a lot of the time I've seen time wasted in production, and it's about man hours. A lot of it is down to the fact, is the way you're doing it the fastest way? If you take account, let's say one man hour was 10 quid, right? Because I'm not going to give you the proper bloody price. And something's going to take 10 man hours to do the old fashioned way, right? There you go, it's 100 quid, right? But you might have a better way to do it, and that might come to 50 quid. Now, if it gives the same result, great. It might give us slightly less than, slightly, you know, like 90% of the way there. But then it's down to production to ask, now is it worth twice the price of that little tiny thing? Is it noticeable? There's a whole load of things like that we often don't think about as artists. That once you're on the sharp end, you've got to. So I'll be covering all that stuff, facial mocap and digital doubles and stuff like that, which I'm probably going to do with my dad, because I'm going to do one with my dad anyway. Just for me, you know, I want to do, but I'm not going to say that because somebody will rip the idea off. I've came up with an interesting concept, just for me, from a family point of view, but also the sort of thing that's not been done before, as far as I know. So I'm going to keep that close to my chest. So yeah, so I've had my programming head on for the last sort of week and a half. Been doing plenty of sort of like sculpts and things like that, just, you know, loosening myself back up again. I've still got my sort of new plaster sitting there on my desk, all prepared, that I haven't touched yet. I have to be in the right mood to get started. But once I start, I'll rattle through it, you know, that's just the way I am. So it's been sort of, it's still weird being back, if you know what I mean. I still sort of miss Dublin, which is fucking weird, you know. But you can probably hear the overhead pylons. Not sure if you can or not, but all the time. So yeah, it's it is interesting when you're actually working from premises, and it's basically me rattling around in this bloody building. And normally what I'll be able to do, and I've done for years, if I'm running a bit dry artistically, or I'm not having a good day, often I'll go sort of downstairs, have a chat with the wife, or chat with the kids, or walk around the block or something, or watch some TV for half an hour and then come back to it. But I'm a mean bastard, right? So I'm thinking I'm paying per week for this place, and I want to make sure that I'm getting my money's worth. And even if that means sitting there, not doing a whole lot sometimes. But again, I'm waiting on a lot of things to fall into place. And I'm saying waiting, a lot of things I'm trying to make fall into place. I'm working hard on what I'm doing at the moment. So we'll see what happens. I do want to get some more videos out and do some more DVDs at some point. But although I've got all day every day, well, I've got from 9 o'clock till about 4 when I normally leave, because that's when the kids get out of school. I go and pick the kids up, you know. You know, it's amazing how fast that time rattles through. It is amazing how, you know, that's what, 7 hours a day, right? Now you take a couple of hours out for dicking around and making coffees and stuff like that, you still got 4 hours. So sometimes you've got to sort of give yourself a kick, and that's where the first week was me just trying to sort things out. Then the last sort of week or two has been, you know, the R&D and putting everything in the right place and moving things around and stuff like that, and sort of usually waiting for deliveries. Now for some reason delivery vans have real problems finding my premises, which is annoying really, you know what I mean. It's big enough to find, easy enough to find, but because I'm outside of fucking shit, you know why? Because somebody's going to break in and nick stuff. So I'd rather, in a way, people didn't know exactly where it's at, outside of people watch these sort of videos and stuff, you know. So I would say you've got to think of things like that, you know. So I've got to. I want to try not to get caught too much into R&D land, because I could end up coming up with fantastic ideas, but none of them end up getting used, because you've got to show the end results a lot of the time, right? So that if you're doing stuff like fish and motion capture, you better be showing some shit on stuff at the end of it. Otherwise, you know, when people are wanting that service, they're not going to feel too confident, and you've got to hope somebody takes a risk, which I can't do. Now, also, I don't have a render farm. I have no intention of running a bloody render farm, because I know how much of a headache and a pain in the arse that is. So in a way, I'd rather use sort of cloud stuff than have an actual farm there all the time. But yeah, sheep are making noises. But men are men and sheep are nervous. But yeah, let me see how long I've been on here. It was 11 minutes. But yeah, I'm not sure how long the battery's going to last on this. I'm not sure if it's fully charged or not, so if it cuts off in the middle, you'll know why, right? But yeah, so I'm just out for my walk with you. I'm trying to lose a bit of weight. I'll be blunt with you, I'm trying to lose weight before the end user event, right? Because I don't want to go there looking like Mr. Fat Bastard 2013. Well, I probably will. But the thing is, I'm not going for as many walks because I'm in the office all day. And I am whizzing around like a lunatic on my chair, backwards and forwards. Guys like Glenn and John O'Connell and Martin and Yanko, they all know what I mean when I say that. So I'm trying to, it is sometimes hard to sort things out. If you're setting gear up or something, there's only one of you, and technically you need 3 people to sort things out, you know. And you try to be 3 places at once. It doesn't always work out well, you know. So, and it makes it harder. Sometimes a 5-minute job becomes a 1-hour epic, you know, which I'd rather it didn't. And it's not always easy to go and just give somebody a phone call and say, excuse me, would you mind dropping everything and giving me a hand? Because people don't do that, right? And often it's the person's needed right then, not an hour's time, you know. So sometimes you just fucking do it, you know. Yeah. So I'm sort of looking forward to the end user event. I always do, because it's sort of I've said many times, it's sort of my unofficial mini holiday, because although I'm lecturing there, it's the one time of the year I get to see all the guys I know, or a lot of the guys I know, and we all get to catch up and have a drink, you know. Now this will be the first time I've been back since I had a stroke and the epic failure that was Of Gods and Men. Yes, I still remember it. Still hurts, that does, because it was stupid. And I had Kyle pop over to Academy Effects, I think it was last week, and he asked when am I going to see Of Gods and Men. I says never, because it was a classic example of getting too carried away with something with nobody there to tell you to stop because it's shit. You know, that's the danger. It's why that you should always have time to rest. And the initial plan would have given me 3 weeks to rest, you know, and then I would have probably looked at it and said it was shit and changed it at the last minute to doing something else. But well, you know, it was a learning process, and it learned me a lot. Exactly how prone I am to getting carried away if I don't catch myself. So now I know where my limitations are. I know there's a certain level of insanity when it comes to deadlines that's never going to happen, right? There's only so fast you can go before shit breaks and turns out crap, right? Bottom line. So I know where that's at now. So I don't think you, as I say, you'd never save Gods and Men. At some point in the future, yeah, I would love to redo it, but unfortunately, it still has, for me, a lot of emotional baggage because of what it caused. It caused the stroke, right? Due to my overwork and horrendous caffeine intake. And it would be nice to see it done the way I originally envisioned it, because there was already like 15 minutes of it cut just to do what I did, and it basically butchered the script. And because I had no access to actors, there's an entire other section that was 20 minutes long that also got cut, you know, so it never got done. You know, that's the way I wanted to. There's plenty of ideas rattling around up here, but when you do that, it means you're not working. And you've got to have enough money to make these things happen. And trying to be all things to all people and do all the jobs is never easy, because everybody has a weak point, you know. Now, it's like, yeah, I can composite, but if the stuff that I do for me, there's no resemblance to a professional compositor that really knows their shit. You see, so already there you've got a big glaring fucking hole of a problem. So you've either got to have a team of people who are all prepared to work for nothing, and once you do that, everybody wants their input, because they're putting their time into it, right? And they're all trying to, you know, give the best, but they want to change it to their vision, and you lose hold of your own vision. So in a way, it's why I never did another one, because I'm not prepared to hand over my vision of things like that. Different when it's client stuff, but when it's things like that, I want ownership of my vision. I want it to come out the way I want it to. But I think plenty of you will have noticed it. I do mention it rather a lot, because yet it still rankles me the fact that it was the one epic failure in my life artistically, and it'll probably always annoy me till my dying day, hopefully many years from now. Although if I go back to that sort of shit again, it might not be too long away. But hopefully people see where I'm coming from, because I know sometimes I never go too in detail with things, because sometimes I get sidetracked, other times I don't feel like covering it, and often you just don't realise that somebody wants to know something. So, you know, it's a bit windy now, so the chances are that you can't fucking hear me. I'm trying to desperately shield the microphone, so that's my thumb there. So let's hope that you can hear us anyway. But yeah, so it's a shame in a way, because stuff like that is the perfect way to demonstrate stuff like facial motion capture and some of the other things I'm doing. But again, as I say, you're not just doing things for yourself then. And I've also got to be careful that I don't start the same sort of thing. My fucking eyes water like a bastard. That I go down the same road but a different route, and then with being able to offer so many services that a lot of them will only be me able to do because I wrote the damn software that we're using, then all of a sudden I put myself in even more pressure. So I've got to be careful about that. Some things I put to one side, and they are there because of problems that have occurred in production in the past. And on that note, big steaming pile of shite. Why not? So hopefully see here, it sort of like makes some sort of sense, and that is, I'm not fucking kidding me, it's starting to rain. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm miles from anywhere, because that's Iverson up there. So about a mile or something to go before I get to Iverson. Woohoo, I'm gonna go right. But it gives me time to think and sort things up in my head, because I've got this program I'm going to try and whack out really fast next week to do stuff. But as I say, the stuff with the motion capture and stuff, I will be covering like the theory behind it, so people can basically make their own. I did find it amusing that like I did put that video on Vimeo, and what, a week or so later ILM comes out with basically a system that's pretty much identical, except they're not using an external camera, but they weren't using the Kinect, using the Prime Sense sensor, which is slightly higher resolution. But I thought, well, you know what, at the risk of offending somebody, I wrote what I was using in 4 days. So I think that's like Wayne 1 ILM nil, really, you know. And I don't mean that nasty, it's like I managed to get it done faster. And I'm sure their system has all sorts of bells and whistles, but all I'm after is something that does the fucking job and does it well, you know. I don't need to write UIs and bullshit for it that's not needed, because it's only me using it. I can optimise it for my pipeline, and same way they will with theirs. But it's nice that there's something else out there. There's a few different solutions like that, but and, you know, mine works best for what I need it for. And I can see that because I'm never going to sell it. I'm never going to put it out, so say what I like about it. But it is nice that there's other solutions out there. And even though I've wrote this one, if somebody came up with something a lot better, you know what? I'd dump it in a fucking heartbeat and use something else. Because that's how production works. You don't say, well, this is my software, this is mine. Like, yeah, but if something better comes along, you dump the fucking thing and use that, you know? And that's the way it works. I've always said I'm not here to sell software or anything else, or pontificate, although sometimes I do. I'm just trying to do the best I can. Sometimes people have a bit of a hissy because you use a different bit of software. Like I put a ZBrush time lapse up. You know why? Why the fuck not? That was the reason why. Because it was the end of the day, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'll do something different. And at some point, I'll do a 3D coat one, which no doubt will make me extremely popular with a whole shitload of people that'll then won't be fucking my head chopped off and put on a plate. But I couldn't care less, because the people who are mourning are usually the people who aren't working in production, or if they are, they're still effectively fanboys. In a way, what I do is slightly dangerous from other companies' perspective, because I can develop stuff that nobody else has. Now, if you're a software company, that makes me a bit of, well, not a threat, but people like me are guys to keep an eye on, right? Because you never know what's going to pop out of our heads. From a sort of production point of view, companies that are out there might not like the fact that I've got a way of doing something vastly cheaper and faster than they have. You know, and it wouldn't be past the realms of possibility for somebody to put a bad word out. It's happened before, not for me, with a lot of other people and a lot of other companies. But often, you know, the people that are actually handling the work out, they can tell the difference. They know when somebody's missed it. So that's basically what it's all about. But oh, two little lambs. The sheep. It's getting very windy now, and I've probably been on for about half a fucking hour, and my battery's probably very nearly flat. And I've got a big hill to go up, but you know, I'm not talking on this thing when I'm going up that hill, because I can never fucking breathe at the best of times. So yeah, I'm still alive and stuff. That I might, if I get a chance, and I'm not too drunk on the night time, I may do a video when I'm down in Staffordshire, just because it's somewhere different, innit? Then I'll probably do one or two between then and the end user event, because I've got to get stuff prepared and stuff. And I don't like to just turn up unprepared, so it will be nice to get all that done. But yeah, then it's panic stations after that. We'll see what happens after end user. Right, I will see you all next time. My eyes are fucking watering. The sheep are going mental barn like fucking idiots, and I've got a big hill to go up, and it's fucking raining. It's like Bruce, it's dark and we're wearing sunglasses. Yeah. Right.